going to burn me. Welcome back to the channel for a coffee. And it's not a coffee in a chat, is it? It's a live stream. I do apologise. Been very, very busy the last couple of days, so I've not been doing anything. That's strange. We've got one person watching. There was one person waiting, and we got 3 likes. So people are liking it without actually watching it, which is good because the likes count. Anyway, who am I talking to? And how is the sound? Is the sound okay? Speak now or forever. 4 likes. What the hell's going on? I'm getting these likes, but no one's watching. I don't understand this. Is somebody there? Somebody let me know. Just going to get my laptop sorted out so I can read the comments. Julian, we live. Hello, Global Greg. Hello, Julian. Hello, hello. Sounds good. Thanks, Global. We live. Mark Thompson. All good. Fantastic. Very glad to hear it. I'm just going to pop my video on it. Get the volume on. Right, there we go. We have contact. So how are we, chaps? What's occurring in your lives? Very strange, this. It's saying that I've got 2 people. Now it says 4. I'm thinking, well, I'm talking to 3, but it only says 2. Anyway, God bless you for joining us. And thank you for the likes. Save me asking. So what are we up to, people? I had a nightmare week this week, which is why I'm doing the live at short notice. It is, Dumaguete is killing me, I'll be honest with you now. It is too much to do. Tonight I was supposed to go and play at the quiz, sideways quiz, because we won last week, defending champions. But I thought about it earlier on, and the quiz tonight, bingo tomorrow night, got the music quiz I'm hosting on Sideways on Wednesday, then I'm hosting the quiz on Thursday, then we're going to a party on Friday, then we're supposed to be meeting friends on Saturday. There are literally not enough hours in the day when you live in Dumaguete. My old mate Brent did a video a while back saying that boredom was a big problem. Not for me, it's not. It's the other way. I would like a boring night. I'm literally having to cancel things. That's why I've not made any videos, just so damn busy. Anyway, that's my life. Global Greg, flight leaves tomorrow for the Philippines. I will send you a message when I get to Duma. Do that, mate. Do that, mate. Safe journey, safe flight. I look forward to toasting a drink with you. Kyle Esteban. Hello, Simon. Hello, Kyle. How the devil are you? See, this is the trouble, because I've done this short notice. It's not the trouble. I'm glad you're all there. But I do wonder how many of our regulars aren't going to be able to make it tonight, because they won't know we're live, are they? But maybe they'll see it. Maybe Jack and Glenn and Jim and the plastered finger. And I should never mention people. Scott usually turns up at some stage. Anyway, there we are. Who the hell was that? See, she's just looking for reasons. She loves being on camera. She pretends she doesn't, but she's just looking in for reasons to walk.
Where should I go in?
Oh, sweetie, I'm pulling your plonker, Rodney. Oh, the conversation has dried up. Talk to me, people. Talk to me. Talk to me about something. Yeah, got to make some content this week. It's I just haven't got the time, which is no good, but we'll need to make time somehow. Yeah, not good. Supposed to have a couple of interviews lined up, so I'll try and get them done this week. And anyway, what about you chaps? What are you all up to? What is going on in your worlds? I've told you about mine. It's like a show and tell tonight. I tell you something, you've got to tell me something. Log on and give me a like, Ellen. Adam Fonte, I'm finally here on time. Well, Adam, welcome to the party, mate. Yeah, you are actually. It's very early for you, isn't it? You're usually like fashionably late. You're bowling half an hour through. Well, I'm glad you're there, Adam. We got a few of the regulars. We got Greg, we got Carl, we got Adam, we got Mike. Julian's got a 3 crown. Global Greg has a 2 crown. Adam Fonte's got a 2 crown. How can you both have 2 crowns? Now we're up to 11. Things are getting better. I do apologise for my dishevelled look. I did get a haircut this week, sweetie. I am... it's been very stressful living in Dumaguete at the moment. There's just so much going on. We used to go out quite a lot when we lived at the other house. But since we moved here, going out all the time. I think it's psychological. I think it's because we're that much closer to the city. I don't know what it is, but yeah, got to slow down. Got to slow down. This is no good for my health. Felt lousy for the last few days, just because late nights and just not good. Oh, 7 likes. I do like this. So anyway, how are things in Siem Reap, Adam? How's life been in the new house? Looks very modern and sleek. Well, I don't know if it's modern or sleek. It's like in very 70s, isn't it? The old elephant and the bar and things. But no, loving it, mate, loving it. Even though we have had problems here in terms of the internet went off for 4 days and Ellen thinks the place is haunted. So apart from that, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. It's so happy we moved here. We had some friends round the other night. They came, we went into town, they came back for a drink and they hadn't been impressed by the video of the place. Reckons I'm overpaying, which I don't think I am. But even he had to admit when he got it how bloody quiet it was. So quiet, so quiet. God, I look fat in this, don't I? This when I'm sat at this angle and I have to go back to the table. Anyway, vanity is not a good thing. Have a spelling bee, question mark. A spelling bee? What's that? Kyle Esteban, have a spelling bee. McLovin, good evening. Jack Star is in the house and he makes an entrance. He doesn't turn up, he just kicks the door open. Thank you, Jack. God bless you, mate. It's lovely that you were able to join us tonight, mate. Much appreciated. I wasn't sure if you would, if you'd make it. I was just saying just then, I don't know how long you've been here. Because I only gave it 2 hours notice, I'm thinking, who's actually going to know we're online? Anyway, Jack, how are things in your life, brother? Robert Johnson, did Ellen see a ghost? No, she didn't see a ghost. God, if she'd seen a ghost, she'd have been back up the mountain. Mind you, I scared her earlier on. That was quite funny. No, things have happened. Certain things have broken and things have fallen off. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. All in her pretty little mind. So no,
we experienced it. It's not in my mind. We experienced it.
Yes, but there are logical explanations, Ellen. It's not ghosts.
Yeah, but you're not sure.
I'm 100% sure. Tell you what it is. I often, when I get back, I sit down and I always have coins in my pocket, and they tend to fall out on the couch when I sit down and things. And I've realised now sometimes they stick to my legs. So one of the ghost things, I've explained it to her, she's not happy about this. I was walking across the other day and a coin fell, and I thought the coin had fallen off the sideboard. I'm thinking, how the hell is that fallen off the sideboard? And that was on top of the Invector heater burning itself out unexpectedly. So she convinced herself it was a poltergeist, like, you know, coins falling off. But yesterday I got up and I went to walk over and the same thing happened again and it stuck to my leg. So I guarantee you when I was walking across the other day, it had fallen off my tender parts onto the floor.
Now.
Anyway,
how are you going to explain the electric toothbrush?
Jack Star, hi Mucker. The toothbrush.
Yeah.
Now that is a strange one. The electric toothbrush switched itself on, but there you go. Adam Fante, nice. Think I've done my time in Siem Reap. I'll pay my rent on the 1st and also give the landlord my 30-day notice, so leave at the end of October. How long were you there for in total? Adam Fante, hi Jack Star. Julian, do you miss Thailand? No, I don't miss Thailand. I'm very happy in the Philippines, very happy in Dumaguete. We enjoyed the holiday, but we've got no intentions to go back anytime soon. That's why we're going to Vietnam next. But Thailand's a lovely country. Don't get me wrong. It's just doesn't hold the same surprise because I was there so long. It's kind of I've got a bit used to it. But Jack Star, terrible pal, being laid up with back spasms, heading back to hospital for a scan tomorrow. Just waiting for your housewarming presents to arrive. Then I'll discuss how to send it to you. You don't have to get us anything, mate. I thought you were joking the other day. You've got to bring it over in your private jet. It's very kind of you, but you didn't. You don't have to do that, mate. But what's wrong with your back then? Is this the injury from your military days? This is not a new thing, is it? This is the one you're getting the physio for. McLovin, tell Ellen not to worry about Capri. What's Capri? Is that some kind of a ghost thing, is
I
it?
think it's like half horse, half human.
Half horse, half human.
I'm not sure. Hold
She's
on.
already got one, mate. I'm half horse, half human.
I'm not sure. I'll Google it.
Jack Star, there is one for you both and one each. Good Lord, what you're spoiling? You're like the ambassador and you know, the old Ferrero Rocher adverts. You're spoiling us, Jack.
Just a giant.
Just a giant?
Yeah, a giant. Tall, hairy, dark-skinned.
I know a couple of guys.
Lives in a tree.
I know a couple of guys who sound like that. Tall, dark, and hairy. I'm not mentioning them. Hey Adam, hello everyone. Jack Star. Jack Star's got you a present. He's got us a present each and one for us to share. Her little mind's she's acting cool about it now, but she'll be later on like, okay, what is it? I don't know. Surprise. That's what presents are. We'll do an unboxing, Jack. Doing those videos. Jack Star, hit the like, share the love. Okay, right. Oh, I thought he got into the next one there. Jack, you're very good at that, mate. You're very good at that. And we're doing well tonight. We've got more likes now in the first 11 minutes than we usually get. Okay, Billy, is it easy to make new mates in the fields? Yes, well, incredibly easy. Incredibly easy. I've got a bigger circle of friends here than I ever did in Thailand. But that's Dumaguete. I mean, I get the impression, but I'm no expert, Dumaguete seems to be friendlier than a lot of other cities. I've not been to many, just when I talk to people who've been to other ones, but it's certainly more, because it's so small, everyone seems to know each other. You know, it's a smaller circle, you know, it's not like Cebu where it's all spread out and all the rest of it. But yes, mate, very, very easy, in my experience, to make friends, both in Sikihor and in Dumaguete. More so on the expat front in Dumaguete. But yes, very easy, mate. You don't have to worry about that. Adam Fente, arrived in April and will leave Siem Reap basically at the beginning of November. It's been 6 months, but will be 7 months, including next month, October.
Where's he going next?
He's going to Vietnam.
Really?
Going to see him at Christmas.
Really?
He's going to be in Ho Chi Minh City.
Really?
Yes. Well, that's the plan anyway. Jack Star, yeah, the helicopter crash in the army. How long ago was that, Jack? Have you constantly had problems ever since, or have they like got worse as they get older? Okay, Billy, I met a Penai. She not works, but tells me she is an auntie and cares for a baby. How can I find out if it's not her baby?
That's hard.
Well, Ellen says it's hard. I've got no idea, mate. I'm no expert. No, Ellen's got no idea either. Would it matter if it's her baby? I mean, what I'm saying.
Biggest question.
No, but it's not necessarily, because what I mean is, like, you know, you just met her. You know, if you find out in a few months' time that she was lying to you, then you know you can't trust her and you knock it on the head. I mean, it's not like you're going to sign a contract or marry her straight away, is it? I mean, I would take people at face value and then see how it goes. And if you find out they're bullshitting you, then you knock it on the head. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can find out before you get here, unless you ask her to do a DNA test or something like that. But how do you know she's going to send you the right results? Okay, Billy. When I was in Pattaya, I felt isolated, lonely man, many dodgy people, but found was better living in Isan. Now planning on coming to Cebu. Well, you might find it. Look, take what I say with a pinch of salt. Because first impressions don't mean anything. It took me a while to fall in love with Dumaguete, but I did not like the expats I met in Cebu on the whole. Might have been where we went, but there was a lot of Pattaya vibes there, and wasn't for me. There are a few strange fish everywhere, expats wise, but you know, I don't know, mate. I mean, I can only talk to you about Dumaguete. And in Fente, I will do 2 weeks in Phnom Penh in November. Then towards the end of November, I'll slide over to Saigon for Christmas and New Year. Then I'll head over to Da Nang in January.
And we'll meet him soon.
Yes. I've never been to Da Nang. If we hadn't been for the fact that we're going with 2 other couples, and one of the couples went to Da Nang a few months back and loved it. and they didn't want to. They wanted to try somewhere else. And when I saw the nightlife in Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon, whatever you want to call it, Saigon, we agreed with that. But if we hadn't been going with them, I think we'd have gone to Da Nang. But we will see. I'm surprised you found it was better in Isan in terms of meeting people. I suppose it depends where you were, but in Buriram there weren't many expats. I mean, when I was in the mountains in Petchabam, all my friends, I had maybe 2 expat friends, all the rest were Thais. When I was down in Buriram, I found it a lot harder to make friends with the Thais, and there weren't many expats. Here though, to be honest with you, I do not have many Filipino friends. I do move in expat circles, which is the first thing I've ever done, really, in my time in Asia. Okay, Billy, what I've read, Vietnam and Thailand is similar language is an issue. Yeah, well, I mean, I can't speak any Vietnamese, but I imagine, I mean, language is not really an issue if you're in Thailand, if you're in like Bangkok or if you're in Pattaya or Phuket or Chiang Mai or somewhere, but it is in the provinces. I'm assuming when we're in Vietnam, people in Saigon will be able to speak English. If not, you just point at pictures and you just, I had some of the best fun living in Thailand before I could speak a word of the language, because you'd like try stuff, you'd point at this and it'd be funny trying to communicate with people, and you ended up eating and trying things you'd never tried before. Jackstar, yeah, back in Iraq days, had it since I left, been out many years from physio chiropractor, sadly never lasted this long. Don't want to start popping diazepam like Smarties again. It's not 90. when were you there? Are we talking about Desert Storm, or are we talking about can't remember what we call it now. I was there. I got my medal for Air Operations Iraq. It was, I mean, for the no-fly zone. Which are we talking about? Because you weren't there for the second one, were you? Oh, Jim is in the house now. Any more problems with the ghosts? There are no ghosts, Jim. There are no ghosts. Tim Murray, hi everyone, warm and sunny here on the Isle of Wight. 3 months' time, I'll be in the Philippines for a holiday for the 30th time before we move to our villa, which we own near Antipolo. Well, hello, Tim. Is it warm and sunny? There you go. I thought it had gone cold in the UK. Mind you, I saw Frank Warren the other day doing an interview from a car, and he was wearing sunglasses and that, so obviously it's still warm. Rain in Blood, we have Google Translate now. Yeah, that is true. Google Translate makes a big difference. Jackstar, hi Jim and Tim. Farah Cole, is that white lady still looking for Ellen's company? No, she's not interested in her, mate. She's interested in me.
Shut up.
And Tim Murray, hi Jack. Rain in Blood, and sometimes, and something between our ears that we can learn with. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Billy, when I was in Pitsanulo, I only stayed there as I lived with my girlfriend. But when we broke, you need to have some mates like the Brotherhood. Yeah, you got to. Jackstar, Desert Storm. Wow, 91. So you're still, let me do a bit of maths on that. So that was 9, 25, so 34 years ago, and you're still getting problems. Wow. Mind you, I suppose that's not, I mean, the older you get, the more it's going to get. Well, there you are, mate. You're a war hero, Jack, a war hero. Glenn, hi. Tim Murray, hi, Jim. Jackstar, you was on Optilic. I can't remember what operation. The last time I went to the Gulf will be in, my last tour was 96. And we were in Al-Kaj, Prince Sultan Air Base, which was about, I think about 60 clicks from Riyadh. And I can't remember what the operation was. I'm losing my mind. But I know, I mean, on the medal it was Air Operations Iraq. We were enforcing the no-fly zone. But I can't remember what the operation was. Was it Telik? That doesn't ring a bell. It would have definitely be around 96, 97. It's, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to Facebook that because I'm still friends with quite a few people on that detachment. Because I did 2 detachments for that. I did 4 months extended to 6, and I came back and I did another because I enjoyed it there. Was it Teelick? Might have been. Jim Pendergast. Hi, Tim. Adam Fente. Question for Ellen. Are there any ghosts or supernatural creatures in Filipino folklore? Yes, there are. I can answer that. She can answer it. There's a lot. The reason I know there's a lot is I did a Halloween quiz last Halloween, and I threw in quite a few things about their demons and ghosts and things and how you get rid of them. I think one of them, the worst one, all you've got to do is sprinkle salt around the house. But none of the Filipinos got the question. The thing about Filipinos here is I would always chuck some Filipino questions in because there's Filipinos that come to the quiz. And they always get them bloody wrong. It's the expats that get them right. So there you go. Anyway, why I'm catching up with you can answer. Adam asked you about that. But there are quite a few. I'm trying to think what the names of some of them are.
I got Manananggal, Aswang.
She's got Manananggal. I'll have to take her to the doctor.
Huh?
You said you got Manananggal. Well, I'll take you to the doctor. Well, you can tell them.
Nah.
What have you got on your thing?
I can't remember the names.
Okay, well, she can't remember the names. She's hiding under the pillows for some reason. Okay, Billy, what have you found a popular city in the Phils for a single guy? Mate, I tell you, Billy, I've been to very, very, very few places. I have only been, all I can talk about is Dumaguete and Sigil. That's it. I've been to Mulbowl twice, but that's only for a couple of days. It's a holiday resort, you want to move there. I've been to Cebu City once. That is it. So I can't tell you. What I can say is I have known a few people who have lived in Dumaguete, been happy in Dumaguete, moved to places like Bacolod and Iloilo and other places and not liked it and come back. They do say that Dumaguete, and obviously they're biased because they live in Dumaguete, but Dumaguete is one of the friendlier cities to live in. And I think it's because it's very dense. Dumaguete is only something ridiculous like 3.5 square kilometres. It's a small city, but it's very compact. And it's got a large expat population. So, you know, it's just a close community. Cebu is so spread out, but if I gave you any more, I know no more than you. I mean, you've probably been. I've never been to Davao, so I honestly, mate, I can't tell you anything about it. I'm afraid. Glenn, hi. Oh, Glenn's in the house. Glenn's here as well. Jack Star's got the one crown. Glenn hasn't got a crown yet. Hi, Glenn, even though you're saying hi, Jack. Rain in Blood 123. There's plenty of real life things to be worried about in the Philippines, never mind ghosts. That's exactly what my attitude is, mate. It's exactly what I said. You know, every time we get on the bike, you take your life in your hands. You know, there are arguments in bars and, you know, there's so many things here that actually are a real danger. Why on earth worry about something that doesn't exist? But there you go. Okay, Billy, has the Christmas spirit and decoration started? Is karaoke very popular in bars? For the Filipinos, there are lots of places you can go and they go like into rooms. They hire these rooms and they sing in there. You will get quite a few people singing in their houses. But in terms of the expat bars and most of the popular Filipino bars, not really much karaoke there, is there? No, it's a lot of live bands. I think that like a few places do karaoke nights, like, you know, Sideways, I think on a Friday does karaoke. I think maybe Fibber McGee's does. But no, it's not really a thing like that. It's not like it was when I lived in Petrobrum, where a lot of the bars, you know, like we had 3 karaoke bars in our village. And they were little basic places, but, you know, little restaurants with bamboo and you ate there. But if you wanted to, they'd give you the microphone, you could sing a song. Not so prevalent here. They tend to be dedicated places that just do karaoke. I mean, how many of them are there? They call them karaoke studios. I went once with Ellen, hated it, but never been back since. terms of the Christmas spirit, they've started selling Christmas decorations in the shops and that, and the trees and that have gone up. They start in September here, but it doesn't feel like it. Never feels like Christmas in this weather. That's why we're going to Saigon for Christmas. And in fact, almost Halloween. I wonder if they do any events here in Siem Reap. No idea, mate. I would have thought they probably do because it's a pretty universal thing, isn't it? I mean, they do in Thailand. Still don't really do it that much in the UK. It's never really taken off in the UK, even though it started in the UK, obviously. But the old trick-or-treating and all that was not really a British thing. Raining Blood, you're really not well-travelled as far as the Philippines is concerned. No, I'm not, and I don't ever claim to be. Never have been, mate. You know, I have no real interest to travel around the Philippines. You know, yeah. But I say, I mean, every video I say, you know, I'm open about that. I can only really talk about my experiences here, and they're all Dumaguete and Sikihor based. I did a bit of I had the idea to do some travelling when I first got here, but I came to the conclusion, you might disagree, but other expats I talk to, everywhere you go in the Philippines is the same but different. You know, it's not really like some other countries like Thailand or Cambodia where you travel to a different city, it's got a completely different vibe and different culture and different food and different, you know. Here, it just all seems to be... Anyway, I have a few friends who feel the same way. That's why we started going overseas rather than going to other islands here. George Plum retracted his message. George Plum, is there much to do in Darwin? Depends what you want to do. Darwin is not for me. We've been there a few times, been to like parties, barbecue on the beach, and went there for a brown out or whatever. But there tends to be a lot of like quite nice resorts there. People seem to go there for scuba diving and snorkeling and that kind of thing. I suppose some of the resorts will have bars and restaurants and things, but I interviewed a couple a while back who were staying there, a vegan couple, and they were saying it's dead at night. I don't know. I've got a few friends who live there and are blissfully happy there. It depends what you want to do, but it's mainly beach resorts there. It's not, and it's very spread out. It's not like Dumaguete where it's a city. I mean, it's literally just, you go down the nautical highway. It's just like a long stretch of a couple of kilometres of road, but they got the Fin bar there. What's that bar, that guy, that ex-Air Force guy I went to see that time? What's his bar called? The Native, was it? No. Anyway, we've only been there a few times. I'm no expert on it, but some people love it. A bit too quiet for me. I wouldn't want to live there. Too quiet for me. We wanted to get closer to the city, which is why we moved. Darwin's the other way, I mean further away. Jackstar, I've been watching Gio in Bangkok saying how cheap it is, but horses for courses on prices, as we all know. What's your take as you just come back? Yeah, crazy, mate. Listen, I don't watch Gio. I watch Gio. I've probably watched 5 or 6 of his videos in my lifetime. Nothing. He's got a good channel and people like it. I'm not digging him out, but I don't know where he was living. I think he was up in Bacolod, wasn't he? There's no way Bangkok is cheaper than Bacolod or Dumaguete. Gio is saying that Bangkok's a lot cheaper than it is here. Well, it's not, is it? I don't know how you could come to that conclusion, personally. I don't know what he's doing, but I know he's lived in. I think he's lived in some of the cities, isn't he? Didn't he live in the expensive part of Cebu or whatever? I mean, if he's comparing it to the IT park in Cebu, then maybe, I mean, certain parts of Bangkok are cheaper if you're living out on the outskirts. But, you know, I've never been to Bacolod, but I've been told it's around the same kind of prices as Dumaguete. And there's no way that you know, that Bangkok's not significant. It's the capital city, for God's sake. I mean, of course it's expensive there. I mean, living in Bangkok would be twice as expensive as living in Phetchabun. I mean, but it's a nice city. I like Bangkok. I mean, yeah, but I don't get how people can suggest that Bangkok is cheaper than. I don't get it anyway. Certainly not my experience. I found Thailand when we were there to be about twice as expensive as it is here. I think I said in the video the other day, every meal we had there was about the same in terms of like, you pay 400 baht, 500 baht for a meal here. 500 pesos for a meal here. You pay 500 baht for a meal there, which is twice the price. You know, a bottle of beer here is 65 pesos, 75 pesos. In Thailand, it was 90. So twice the price. Everything was twice the price, more or less, except for the hotels. Where I've lost George Plum. Apart from diving, I don't know, mate. I mean, there might be. There's apparently a nice mountain up there. I mean, it's just not what I do. I mean, Valencia, I've got some few friends. They go hiking at the weekend. They go up to the mountains and things. I don't really know. I say I've only been to Darwin, I think, 3 or 4 times. I went there once to a party at Liquids, a resort there. Went to someone's birthday party. No, someone's coming back party on Uzi Beach. And we went up to a bar once to speak to an old Air Force guy. I don't know, mate. You know, I'm no expert on it. Jim Pendergrass, so many superstitions in the Philippines. There is, and in Thailand as well, mate. Glenn, just out for a walk, hence late. Greetings, one and all. Did say hi in Generala a few minutes ago. Sorry, mate, I must have missed that. My apologies. I do get confused looking at, reading these off. But I'm glad you're here, Glenn. You didn't comment on the last video, which is fine. But when you don't comment, I'm thinking, has it been taken off again? Has it fallen off, or is he okay, or whatever? Got so used to, well, Jack as well now, because you and Jim and I've always commented from the start on every single video I've ever done. If ever there was missed, I think, I hope there's not a problem there. So I'm glad you're with us. And Jack Star, I mean, there's a few now that comment. I mean, Jack Star comments on virtually every video now. So it's here we are. Ricky, good evening from wonderful Bangkok. You inspired me to start a YouTube channel from Billericay to Bangkok. East End boy done good. What do you think? Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. Very good. Very good. Billericay. My given name is Dickie. I come from Billericay and I'm doing very well. Oi, 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 oi. That is Ian Jury. I'll have to keep an eye out for your channel, mate. Jack Star. What happened to your new bins? That's a point. I don't know. I've got a house full of glasses. They're around here somewhere. They're okay. I put a thing out. I'm doing a music quiz this Wednesday, and I don't think many people are going to come, and been pushed into doing it again. So I made up a little flyer, and well, not a flyer, just a design. I banged it out to a load of people saying I'm doing the quiz on thing in. I keep getting bing back with responses to it, which is making it hard to concentrate on the thing. Okay, Billy, are the nightclubs Duma like over 28s? Over 28s? What do you mean over 28 years old? Well, it depends where you go. There's a few. I mean, there's a couple. I mean, there's only one real expat nightclub here. Well, a lot of Filipinos go there. They go there to meet expats. And there's a lot of men that look like women in them, all I'll say. But that tends to have an older demographic. But there's a couple of places like the Hyde and Scooties and the Tiki, but not the Tiki Bar and that. They're all Filipinos and they're all young. They're all students because it's like a student city. So it depends, mate. There's lots of bars like they're open till the late hours, like Fibber McGee's. It's not a club, not a nightclub, but that's open till like 2 in the morning, I think it is, every night, And there's quite a few places, but they're varied. George Plum, karaoke is only good if they are good singers. This is true. Enzo Pastore has joined the party, but he's, yeah, I'm not a fan of the karaoke here. Mike Thompson, are you thinking of Op Steel or Southern Watch? No, I'm not thinking of I'm not thinking of either of those. Definitely not Op Steel and definitely not Southern Watch. I'd have to find out what it is. I'm losing my memory. It might have been, I can't remember what Jack said now, my memory's gone so bad. Put it this way, when he said Telik, it did ring a bell, I think, but certainly wasn't Op Steel or Southern Watch. It was a long hop. It was a no-fly zone, wasn't it? It went God, that went for years, didn't it? Jack Star, hey, okay, Billy, tell us about yourself, where you're from, a bit of history, etc. Welcome to a very strange family. Okay, Billy, I'm from Melbourne, was living in Thailand, now looking for a change concerning Cebu, then Davao. But why those two cities, mate? Why those two cities? A lot of people, I can't criticise Davao, never been there, don't like Cebu. It's amazing me how many people, they seem to be the two ones on their tick lists. Adam Fente, it all comes down to lifestyle, just like you mentioned before, but no way average Bangkok lifestyle is cheaper than Blocolod lifestyle. Yeah, it's not, mate, is it? It's crazy. It really isn't. There's no way. I mean, is Bangkok more expensive than Manila? Probably not. Maybe if you live in Manila, you think Bangkok is cheaper, but, you know, certainly not to anywhere I have been in the Philippines, because Bangkok is an expensive city for Thailand. It's the most expensive city. Pattaya has always been a little bit cheaper than Bangkok in terms of everything. I mean, you can still get value there, you get great apartments, a great city to live in, but yeah, a total loss how people can think it's cheaper than living in the vast majority of towns or cities in the Philippines. Okay, Billy, considering Cebu and Davao, prefer a big city vibe, Paul Mouse. Yeah, well, you might get that in Davao, but I tell you, I'm going to annoy people who live in Cebu, but in my experience in that place, the traffic is horrendous. You cannot get anywhere. And it is, from what I've seen, 6 or 7 big shopping malls, all about 4 or 5 kilometres apart. And the areas in between them are slums. It literally is. It's, I think it's the ugliest city I've ever been to. And I've been to Middlesbrough. The Plastered Finger, evening all. Welcome on board, Plaster. How are you, brother? Tommy Balls, Bangkok is definitely cheaper than Manila, but probably not cheaper than smaller cities in the Phils. Well, there you go, mate. I've never been to Manila apart from once. I stayed there one night in transit. So, yeah, I can believe that Manila is more expensive than Bangkok. But I'm damn sure that Gio wasn't living in Manila. But if he's comparing it to Manila, then fine. But that's like comparing London in the UK to Swansea in Wales. I mean, there's a huge difference. London is a very, very expensive city. You know, live there will cost you twice as much as it would probably any other city in the UK. Well, maybe not Manchester. So, I mean, yeah, it's also, of course, it depends entirely on where you are and what your lifestyle is. Adam Fente, Billy, I recommend you stay a month in each spot before committing to either. Airbnb in a condo would be a good start. I think that's very good advice. Raining Blood 123, yes, there's that Philippines flavour everywhere. Baguio is genuinely cold, but the jeepneys and the usual fare. I can see why someone would say that the place is all the same. Yeah, that's certainly been my experience, mate. That's certainly been my experience. And that's why we stopped travelling. I always thought I'd go here, I'd go there, I'd do that, but it just... It's but we will travel again at some stage. Okay, Billy, Adam, great idea, mate. Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it, mate. Jim, evening, Plastered Finger. Plastered Finger, is this the regular thing now? What, Monday? No, I think it's going to be Wednesdays, chaps, because I like to play. They have a sideways quiz on Mondays, and I like to play in that because I'm the quiz master for the other ones. But if I'd gone tonight, I wouldn't be there. I've literally every night this week for the next 7 nights we're doing something. So I cancelled the quiz tonight. But I do the music quiz on Wednesday, but that's once a month. So I think going forward, thank you for asking me that question. Going forward, Wednesday will be the live stream night because Ellen is in love with the bingo now. And a good friend of mine has just taken over being the bingo caller. He's going to do it tomorrow night for the first night. So we're going to have to go to that. So yes. Wednesdays will be the new Tuesday going forward. Jack Star, tell me about Capital City. Had a pint after the march in London, 9.80. Fucking plastic glass. Hate them things. Yeah. And that's that. I don't think that's that expensive, mate. When I say that, I watch. There's a guy, a channel I occasionally watch. I think he's from Manchester, this guy, and he walks around rough areas and has pints in local pubs. I can't remember what it's called. And he's been to London a few times, and he tends to drink Guinness. It's blown my mind to go in some of these dives. It's like £11, £12 a pint. You think, bloody hell. I remember it used to be £1. Rain in Blood, 123. You can relax in Bangkok. It is very pleasant. Manila is dodgy AF. Be alert in LA Cafe Bar. Yeah, I've heard of that place. Not my kind of, not my kind of thing. I think you can relax in anywhere in Thailand. I've never felt in danger in Thailand. I've never felt in danger in the Philippines, but I know there are some no-go areas in Manila, supposedly, but there are no-go areas in London. I've never known anywhere that, and I've lived in some of these places that are supposedly no-go areas. And someone said in a video the other week, in the comments, we all know there are areas in Dumaguete where you can't go at night, and said straight away to Ellen, well, I don't know where they are, where the hell are they? And she didn't know either. And I asked a couple of guys the next night, I said, where are the no-go areas in Dumaguete after dark? And they were like, what do you mean, there aren't any? So, who knows? Plaster Finger, more bingo nights on Tuesday. Yeah, that's become a regular thing now, that is. But I went last week, Ellen was away, I went by myself. It's not really for me. I was bored. Most of the husbands were, you know, you're sitting there, the wives and the girlfriends are like, they're loving it. But she's back now, so we'll go. And as I say, my mate's doing the calling now, so go and support him. Okay, Billy, could you live stream the trivia night? I might do that again. I could do that again if people want to. I did it once, but there wasn't that many people interested. But I did do it once. It's just not the end of the... Yeah, I could do that. I'll have a look at doing that, Billy. Trouble is, though, I can't really do much talking. You know, people just watch the quiz because I'm too, you know, I can't be talking to the camera really and doing the scores and, you know, comparing and that. But I could put a camera on in the background. But I say we did do that once, but not many people did watched it. Adam Fente, it took me some time to realise, but I do want to live in a beach city lifestyle. So Da Nang is on my radar now, but I missed my chance at checking out Roxas City. I saw some vlogs that looks nice. Never heard of it, mate. Jackstar, nice one, Billy. How long you been in Thai? I know what you mean. I love to change it up now and again. George Plum, is the boulevard the main area to go where you're living? For tourists, I suppose. I don't really go down the boulevard much at all. It's, I mean, the boulevard's long. You get a lot of people here. Not many people come to Dumaguete on holiday, but because you've got the port and the airport here, and you've got Sikihor and you've got Cebu, you get a lot of people in transit. So there are a lot of hotels along the boulevard. And a lot of restaurants, quite nice restaurants along there. So the transient people who are passing through tend to go on the boulevard, and the Filipinos, they do like they have these like nights where they have like dancers and singing. They do stuff down there quite regularly. There's a little like shows and that. But I haven't been there for a few weeks. Not many of the expats do. There is a bar down there called Bogart's, or is it called Game On now? And there's the nightclub, Why Not? Some people go to that, but no, not really. It's for your average expat, certainly circles I move in, I doubt many of them will spend much time down the boulevard. Yeah, but Rain in Blood 123, there's supposed to be a decent resorts in nearby Mactan. Agree about the poverty in Cebu. It's absolutely shocking. Yeah, it was, mate. I couldn't believe, I was amazed how, just how ramshack parts of it were. Yeah, strange city. Okay, Billy, Cebu, Mactown, Newtown is popular. Ricky, LOL, Middlesbrough, catching strays. You leave Teesside along. It's a lovely part of England. Went to uni in Durham. Yeah, I've got a good mate, Jeff. He went to university in Durham. I had a security company, and when we first took it over, a lot of our guards came from the north. And I was recruiting guards to go over work in Holland because we had some depots out over there. So I did a lot of travelling up to northeast and they're interviewing people in job centres to get, when we got the new contracts, to get teams together to go. And yeah, Hartlepool was an eye-opener, Middlesbrough was an eye-opener, Durham's okay, Newton Aycliffe, God, that place is a real eye-opener. Yeah, Newcastle seemed all right. Middlesbrough, though, when you come over the hill and you just see all those smog and all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, they were, and drive down that road and literally every other window's boarded up and that. Yeah, not the most beautiful city. Raining Blood, I can assure you there's places in Manila you would not want to be alone at night in. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are. I just think things get exaggerated a bit. Yeah, probably right. I mean, as a tourist, yeah, but I'm sure the average Filipino would probably be all right there. I mean, I say there are, you know, London, you know, if you're a tourist there's probably certain places you don't want to go at night, but if you're local, I mean, anyway, it is what it is. The Plastered Finger, I was a bingo caller in Butlins, Barry Island. Love the old thank you whistles, etc. I hope he does all that stuff. Yeah, I think he will. I think he's been practicing for it. Glenn, put thumbs up on the last video, but distracted, didn't leave a post. It's all right, Glenn. I forgive you, mate. I forgive you. So the hairnet and curlers are on order for the next bingo outing. Glenn, I worked at Butlins, Barry Island once. So there you go. Two of you, what are the chances of that? Two of you worked at Butlins and Barry Island, and I worked on Barry Island Pleasure Park. But it wasn't Butlins then, it was Majestics when I was there. Butlins had long gone, been taken over. But there you go. Little island like that, and three of us have worked there. Jack Star, you're right, Ricky, it's always good to go past Teesside. Jim Pendergast, met my wife working in a holiday camp. I was working as kitchen porter. I didn't know you met Nora that way, mate. I get so confused. I thought she was working in a hospital. For some reason, you met her that way. There you go. Interesting. Ellen has left me. She's gone. She's walked away. I don't know how I'm going to make me coffee, and I don't know what she's done with her handset for the aircon. It's getting bloody cold in here. Anyway, there we go. And the chat has dried up. Talk to me, people. We need conversation. Oh, some people. I've got some comments. I see Sam. Jim has been. Oh, Jim, not Nora, my first wife. Okay, yeah, there you go. Because like me, you've been married a couple of times, haven't you? That's right, yeah. Adam Fente, have you made use of the mini bar? Tim Murray, the chat is as dry as an incontinence pad. Well, it depends how many times you use the pad, mate. We did have friends round on Saturday night, and I did make a couple of White Russians, but I haven't stocked it up yet. They're still the empty bottles. At some stage, I'm going to have to get some more, but we had a couple of bottles of vodka, and I've got some beers and that in the fridge. But no, I haven't really made use of the bar yet. Have I shown you guys the bar lights? Tim Murray, there we go. Did I show you the lights on the last one? We've got lights. We've got no smoking signs and fluorescent things that all light up when you press the switch over there. Didn't know what the hell was going on the other week. I'm going to the toilet and then suddenly all these neons came on. I'm just communicating with some people on Facebook while you chaps are. I'm coming back to it now. I didn't see the lights. We need lights for our live. Okay, I will show you some lights now. Check this out. There we are. no smoking. What does the other one say? It's bar with the old champagne bottles and that pouring down. Yeah, I don't know who's done that. But you can't really see him with the thing. But yeah, you got those lights up there, and you got that. It's yeah, it's strange. But there you go. Somebody liked the idea of having a bar. I'll leave them on for a minute. Yeah, it's. Plaza Finger, work Majestics too. Daling Dave called me back from Pwlley, 85, 87-ish. I was there in... it was either 88 or 89. I joined the Air Force in 90. So I joined in June 90. So did I go straight from... It was either 89, might have been a couple of months into, because I stayed a bit longer. When the park closed, I went round with a fair for a little bit around Wales, up to the valleys. Jackstar, I was on the Army Air Corps display team travelling UK. The North East and Scotland was fantastic times, had an amazing time. Not sure I can share the stories on our family show. The mind boggles now. I thought you were going to say you were up at Barry Island as well. I said, what are the chances of that? And the funny thing is, I left back when I joined the Air Force, because I joined the police. You went to Swindon and did your training, and then they sent you to St Athens to do your driving course. So I was back in Barry Island again, because I mean St Athens only about 14 miles away from Barry. So I had a few good nights while I was St Athens back in Barry. On the fair, and in fact, fancy lights fitting for the live. Glenn, not seen the lights yet, but you mentioned them. Well, you've seen them now, Glenn. They're in full. Pretty damn tasteless, isn't it? It's, maybe I'll get some more, but there you are. Glenn, wow, Blackpool. Yeah, very, very tastefully done, mate. Very tastefully done, isn't it? There's nothing. Nothing too gauche about those. It's very disconcerting. I'm looking at you guys here, or we're now at the screen, but there is a delay. So I'll be looking at you, and the next thing, my arms and legs are going around on the laptop. Glenn, I was there 75, 76, Xmas, New Year. Oh, well before me then. Well before me. I would have been 4 years old then, Glenn. But... I don't know when Butlins became Majestics, but it was Majestics when I was there, and I never went there. We used to meet lots of girls who'd come on the fair from there, but never went in. I think it was quite hard to get in there. Never had the desire to get in. But there we go. But yeah, lots of lads like to climb over the wall and all that to get in, but I didn't. I think it was died a death, to be honest, when I was there. I mean, Plastered Finger might know, because maybe it was more thriving when we were there, but I don't know if Barry Island's still going. What's there? I've not been there since 1990, but it was dying a death. You know, when you spoke to people, there was a time when it was huge and it was thriving, but it certainly seemed better days when I was there. Plaster Finger, did you work with the Stuts? Work for them as a showman for a while too. The Stuts? What are the Stuts? You'll have to expand on that. I worked on the pleasure park, and well, the Stuts weren't the name of the people who owned that, was it? It was Big Pat. His son was there. He worked as well. He was Little Pat, and the dad was called Big Pat. But they weren't the Stuts. They had a different name to that. Yeah, I don't know what you mean with the Stuts. I worked on the pleasure park. Started off on the log flume. That was my primary ride. When the park was open, I was the log flume operator. But when it moved around, I did the waltzers. I did all sorts of things. And it was a good job. I loved that. But primarily on the thing, I was on the log flume. No idea what the Stuts are, mate. Right, well, here we go. We are approaching the 1 hour mark. And people have stopped talking. People have stopped talking. Going to a party on Friday. Looking forward to that. I'm going to finish this live stream in a good mood. I always am when I've talked to my friends. And I'm going to get on Facebook and I'm going to see these responses to the invites. And I bet no one's coming to the bloody music quiz. I don't know why I agreed to do it. Adam Fonte, is your neighbourhood walkable? How do you mean walkable? What, for walk and talk? Certainly safe. I mean, yeah, it's very quiet, but it's not necessarily, you know, good backdrop for walk and talk. I mean, there's not much to it. It's quite a small subdivision. I mean, you go up, you turn left, you walk about 300 metres, you're on the main road. The only reason it takes 200 metres is because you've got to cut up and turn left. You couldn't cut for the houses, but there's not a lot to walk around here. There are only 3 streets. Jack Star, how are you getting on with the neighbours, buddy? Yeah, good people. I don't think that for some reason there doesn't seem to be many people living down our road. But no, the guy next door, our immediate next door neighbour, he's a great guy, Patrick, an American. And across the road there is a Norwegian guy, and he's a nice guy as well. But they're down to I've met. It's very quiet. We're right at the end of the road. And when I drove down here, I've not seen many people. I thought some of the properties were empty, but talking to Patrick the other day, he reckons he's got neighbours and that. But yeah, so Norwegian guy's got a brewery, so I'll have to try some of his beer at some stage. But he's a nice guy, he's been here 10 years. But our neighbour Patrick, he's only been here a month. He moved in just before us. So he's very new to the area. He's only just arrived in the Philippines. But he has said I can interview him at some stage, so you'll get to meet him yourselves. Jack Star, I mean, there must be at least 380 Navy SEALs within spitting distance from you. Well, the funny thing is, I was talking to him the other day, and first time I'd really met him for a chat, and he said he was in the army, and he told me about his time in there, and it started off with signals. I think he was on signals or comms, and then he'd left, and he'd come back, and then he was a medic. And I said at the end of it, I said, I'm so glad you were a medic, and because when you said you're ex-military, I was just waiting for the Navy SEAL bit to come out, and my eyes would have dropped down like that. But no, genuine, honest guy, which is what we like. Yeah, so many Navy SEALs, Jack. I just, when people say that, you just think, are you serious? Do you think I'm an idiot? Why am I going to believe that? Because none of them look the part. And there's one guy, I won't name him, he's not here now, he's a, I won't say too much about him, but he's a European guy, and he tells everyone he's special forces, and he knows a few people I know, and we all know it's bullshit, but no one ever, you know, it's just like, he'll sit there telling stories, people's eyes will roll, then he'll go away to the toilet or go, and he'll say, what the, you know, I just don't know why they do it, I don't know why they think people believe them. Raining Blood, be sure to get your digital ID card back in the UK. Yeah, what is, yeah, I've seen that. I don't know, how am I going to get one of those? Have they put a date on it? I mean, this thing will take years to come in, won't it, presumably? Glenn, want to see the hairnet. Plastered Finger, they have winter pitch in Bryn Aman. They have winter pitch in Bryn Aman. The Studs. Don't take this the wrong way, man. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Oh, I believe it's at a housing estate now, Vernon and Darryl Stutt, or maybe Stud. Who owned the pleasure park? No, that wasn't them. That wasn't them. They didn't own it when I was there. The only name I can remember from that park was Colin Ham. He was the manager. And there were, the guy who owned it was a huge bloke called Pat. He was Big Pat. And his little son was, they called Little Pat, funnily enough. But the name Pat Stutt does not ring a bell. But the trouble is, when I start thinking of names, I think, was it Garrett? Because Pat Garrett shot Billy the Kid. So I can't remember the name. I don't think it was Stutt. But it might have been. He was supposed to be quite a, he was a rough guy. We used to have security, like bouncers. on the park, particularly when it was like bank holidays and that, because you get like be a bit of trouble, get like drunks come down from the valleys and that, and all the bouncers, they used to work in like Swansea and all that. We got friendly with them. They all said like Pat, he's knocked a few people. He was, let's just say, he was a bit of a gang. He had a reputation of being a bit of a gangster, and he was wealthy, and he owned it. But I don't know if it was a start. I can't remember the name. Oh, they have a winter pitch in Bryn. No, I don't think it was the Stats. But you got to remember, we were working for Pat because different rides were owned by different people. But yeah, no, I say we're going back to 1990 now. I mean, that is 36 years ago, or 89 rather. So I can't remember. I'm terrible with names. Adam Fenton, digital ID does sound scary to me. I hear folks in Thailand complain about banking changes recently. Yeah, this digital, I just saw the headline, and I take all of these things with a pinch of salt. I don't understand why they've done it or whatever. But I mean, I quite like the idea of digital ID, to be honest. Just because they went out of their way, the last government, to make it difficult for people to vote. Because, insisting you had ID when people don't have ID. So, I mean, I don't see a problem with having digital ID. Particularly me when I go back, because sometimes it can be difficult, because I'm moving around, a lot of things you need to have 2 forms of identification, like proof of address and that. And it's quite hard when you're leaving the country to come back and have things like utility bills and that in your name. So if they're going to come up with an ID card that, that you can use, then I don't. I know some people will be like, we fought the war not to have ID cards and things, but I say I've not really looked into it. I just saw the headline the other day. You say digital ID stuff sounds scary, but don't you have to have ID in America? I thought America had ID cards. Rain in Blood, there's a YouTube video telling a story about an English guy getting robbed in Manila by a freaking taxi driver. It's worth checking out. Well, the only time I've ever been robbed in the Philippines was by a taxi driver, was by a trike driver. And he robbed me in the sense, I did a video on it, he robbed me in the sense that my wallet had fallen out of my pocket into the trike, and he had seen that, and he drove off without stopping, and I twigged, luckily, straight away what had happened. And I gave pursuit on the back of a homeless person's bike. That's actually quite a good story. I think I still got the video up. But we tracked him, we stopped him, and he acted dumb, but he didn't actually try and like mug me or anything. He just, it's one of those things. I got out and I knew him, he'd given me a lift a few times. And I'd actually had drink, but anyway, yeah, I thought the guy was all right. I thought he was a friend. I always used him. He used to wait for me outside one of the bars, and sometimes I'd invite him in for a drink. And I'm getting out this one day, and I looked down, and I could see he was a bit funny as I was saying goodbye. I give him the tip, and I could just see there was something in his demeanour that was strange. I thought, why is he acting like that? And he was just gone. And then as soon as he went, I'm like, oh shit, I realised what had happened. My wallet had fallen out. So I started I was shouting at him, like, come back, and he wasn't coming back. But then, while I was living in Zibulan, you had all these homeless people who were sleeping on the thing, and a couple of them jumped up and like, what's happening? I said, he's got my bloody wallet, and before you know it, guy comes out with a bike, like, and jumped on the back, and this other guy was behind him. We gave chase, and we got him down about, and one of the guys had a knife. The homeless guy, he's like, it was, anyway, it was strange. But we tracked him down about 3 kilometres down the road. We caught up with him, and as soon as we caught up, he's like, oh no, your wallet. I knew what he'd done. Anyway, so I gave them a few quid and they dropped me home and it was all right. Rain in Blood, I was pickpocketed in a jeepney as well. There you go. I've always, touched wood, I've been quite lucky with that. I've never been mugged. I've never been, I've lost a couple of things, but it's been entirely my fault. Never been pickpocketed. So I shouldn't say things like that because, you're tempting fate and I'll get pickpocketed tomorrow. Jackstar, mate, being ex-forces, if you know, you know. I had a few dealings with 4 in Northern Ireland. Great guys who I'm sure to this day don't even tell people what they did and done. Now everyone wants to jump on it. Yeah, it is a bit, it's easy to say. I nearly got in a fight with an American guy in a place called the Break Time. I met a subscriber and he's talking to me and being friendly. Like he said, hello, I'm watching your channel and all this blah, blah, blah. And then he introduced me to some of his American friends. And one of them, there was this big black guy and he was big, muscular guy. And he was drunk. And he just starts on me for no problem, for no reason. We just started going about, you know, where are you from, Australia? I said, I'm not Australian, I'm British. And he starts banging on about what I had done to the Aborigines, and I'd gone over and I destroyed the country and I'd taken their land away. And I'm sitting there thinking, what are you talking about? I haven't done anything. I'm sat in this thing. And then he got leery and I was going to leave it. And because I was with Ellen, I think, well, I'm just going to walk away. And the other guy's trying to calm it down. And the guy starts banging about how many people he's killed, his ex-forces, and that's just like a red rag to a ball to me, you know. So anyway, it got broken up, but it nearly came to blows, but I couldn't believe it. Anyone who's telling you how many people he's killed is full of it. I said, mate, you're full of shit. You haven't killed you. In fact, you're even saying that tells me all I need to know about you. And he was in the bloody Navy as well, because they were all Navy, these guys. They don't show them, where has he killed all these people? Because he wasn't a SEAL, so unless he's like, you know, artillery or whatever. I mean, it's just clearly bullshit. But anyway, there you go. Glenn, US ID is mainly driving license. There we go. Yeah, I guess you're right now, actually. Yeah. Although I went to interview a guy on the channel the other day, Don, that New Zealand guy, and I'll be honest with you now, where he lives has got an awful, awful reputation. To you know, in terms of getting in, you can't get people in. It's just a nightmare. You know, I would never live there because you can't bring guests back and that. They've got the worst security. You know, just like completely over the top. And for me to go and see him, he had to put my name on a list. And then I had to, when I got there, I said, I'm on the list. My name's so-and-so. And they said, who are you going to see? And I told him their name. And he said, what apartment number is this? I don't know. He said, well, you need the apartment number. I said, but I'm on the list. He said, I can't tell you that. And I said, well, I know I'm on the list because you just called me Simon Wilkinson. I said, but can't you? So I called him up and said, look, can you tell them what bloody apartment number you are? And then they wanted him to come down and get me in anyway. But then they wanted ID. So I gave him my Philippine driving license. And he said, that's not ID. I said, well, how is that not ID? It's a driving license with my photograph on it. He's like, no, I need ID. So I said, passport. I said, I haven't got my passport. So I got my ACR card, which is your, like, you get it for a year. It's your ID card over here. He's like, no, I need your passport. So I'm like, duck, I can't be doing with you. Of course your driving licence is ID. Of course your ACR card's ID. But in the end, Don came in and argued with him. I got on, but absolutely ridiculous. Rain and Blood 123. That's some story. Glad it worked out and you caught the trike driver. Yeah, very lucky, very lucky. If they hadn't been there, I would have. I'd never got that back. He'd have said I hadn't left it in there. Adam Fenty, to each their own, I guess. I'm in the camp of I want government to leave me alone. We have ID in the US, but it's not digitalised yet. The more power the state gets, the easier it is to monitor and blacklist. Yeah, listen, I understand entirely what you're saying. If I was in the UK, I would probably feel the same way. But it's like, say, horses for courses. The reality is, thankfully, my driving licence has my address on it. So when I have, like, open new bank accounts and things, that counts as one of the forms of ID. The passport's the other one. I take the view that if they bring this thing in, it will give me another form of ID. But I'm not sure why they're bringing it in. I haven't really looked at I suppose this is something to do with this money laundering nonsense that's going on everywhere at the moment. No idea. But I hear you, Adam. I don't disagree with you. I'm just looking at it purely from a selfish point of view. I don't think people should have to produce ID to vote, but when they've gone down that route that's saying you have to have ID to vote now, then surely you have to go down the route that there has to be some form of ID that you use to it. Anyway, I don't know. No particularly strong feelings either way on it, to be honest with you. Well, there we go. I'll give it another few minutes. I'm quite happy to talk to you chaps, but when the conversation dries up, I sit there and I think I'm boring people. So I start to think maybe I should sign off. Anne Fente, are you guys eating out for dinner these days or cooking more? I'd like to think we're generally doing both, to be honest with you. Since we moved here, I did a big shop when we first moved here, so we tend to have something for dinner, but then we tend to go out and stay out very late and then end up having a late night food somewhere. There's a place called Food Net in the city, which is opposite Fibber McGee's, and we tend to end up eating out. So yeah, probably have like a late lunch dinner in the house and then eat out in the evenings. But we'll eat out tomorrow. One of the things about Fibbers, the place we go, they do a really good deal at the bingo. I think I might have told you before. 999 pesos, bucket of 5 beers, and eat as much as you want wings, chicken wings. So I'll probably be having that tomorrow. Glenn, UK have been talking about digital ID for ages, nothing yet. Yeah, well, I just saw the headline that they were doing it. But as I say, I keep getting told things, so much fake news rolling around. I mean, I get messages all the time from people saying like, oh, have you just seen this? You can't transfer more than £200 without ID, and there's a limit on daily things for £800 and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, where did you get this from? They said, I saw it on YouTube. I said, where did you see it on YouTube? Did you see it on the BBC? Did you see it on, it's nonsense. I mean, how can anyone run a business if there's a 1-day delay on any transfers over 8? So what I'm saying is this is probably a real thing, but it's certainly not going to be something that's going to come to pass overnight. I mean, these things take time. I will have a little read and see what the thinking is behind it, because I do wonder if it's something to do with the voting restrictions. Here we go, Jack Star. Apparently passport and driving licence are not secure enough. Government muppets. How do you get a digital ID card if you need to show your passport and driving licence? WTF? Is that what the argument is? Yeah, because what information are you going to provide? It always makes me laugh when you find your passport the first time and you have to send your birth certificate in, which has got no picture. It could be anything. I mean, it could be anyone's birth certificate. Adam Fonte, that's a great deal for 1,000 pesos. If they have different flavour wings, and that's awesome. They do have to have they do have different flavours, yeah, but they weren't great. The first one we started off with was parmesan and garlic, and I thought I'd try a few more flavours. We started off with that one, but the next two weren't as good as that. I think I'll probably stick to that. There was one of them was buffalo and one of them was honey and something, but the parmesan was the best. Raining Blood 123. This came from Starmer's mouth. Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that Starmer had said that. That's why I'm saying there is some meat on the bones to this one. But I hadn't seen a time scale or anything. I didn't see him say, I mean, are they saying it is a proposal that they are intending to do it, or have they actually put a time frame on it? Because saying you're going to do something and actually doing it, as you know yourself, are two different things. But Raining Blood, people are not happy and the scheme might not fly. Yeah, you might be right, it might not. But I'll be interested to know what the thought process is behind it. He must have a reason. Whether that's a good reason, I'm not saying it is. I don't know what the reason is yet, but they're not going to do it for nothing. There must be some reason why they think it's a good idea. And presumably the real reason can't be what Jack just said, because that makes no sense at all. I'm not digging you out, Jack. I'm just saying there must be more to it than that, because as you say, it can't just be because passports and driving licenses aren't secure, because they're both digital forms of ID, aren't they? I mean, at the end of the day. And as you say, you're going to use them to get that. So I don't know. I will look into it, and maybe I'll talk about it on the next live. Yeah, it does seem a strange one, that. And it's going to cost as well. Raining Blood, but that's probably BS. Adam Fonte, to be honest, I think we are all eventually going towards biometrics for everything, fingerprints, eye scans, etc. In China, you pay at the convenience store with your thumb. Yeah. But I do suspect we'll be a bit behind the pace in the Philippines, because they're not geared up for that here at all. Although I had to get my new ACR card this week. That's the point. Now, I'm glad I said that, because I've got to pick my passport up tomorrow. But I had to get my second ACR card, and third one. And I was expected to do the fingerprints and take a photograph and all that in the immigration office, because she said you need to get a new card. I said, okay. She just said how much it was. I gave her the money, that was it. She said, we've already got your biometrics and your photograph, and the card will come in 4 weeks. So that was relatively painless, apart from the fact I had to pay 8,000 pesos for it. But there we go. Finding blood, it's a barcode on WeChat or Alipay to pay in China. I don't use any of those. People keep asking me why I don't use my Gcash to pay for things. To which my answer is always, well, why would I? I've got money in my pocket. Why would I do that? Because I see them, they faff around and you get your thing out and you spray a barcode and puts the thing in it. But I've not done that yet. I don't even know if I can. I think you've got to enable your account to do that or something. But there we go. Adam Fanate, 8,000 pesos for an ACR card. That can't be right. Well, it was 7,999 or something like that, just under 8,000. No, it is right, because that was including my 2 months. Because my ACR card ran out in October, and I wanted to get a 2-month extension. So she said, we can do a 1-month extension now, but you'll have to get an ACR card for the next one, or do 2 months now and pay for your ACR card now, which will run off the other one. So it came to just under 8,000. So no, yeah, it was 8,000 for 2 months and the ACR cards. I think the ACR card's about 6,000 pesos. Slightly more. I think 2 months here is 1,800. Raining Blood 123. Only old people use cash in China. Yeah, I don't know, mate. I've been to China once. People who watch the channel will know I was kicked out of China. I have no intention of going back. Couldn't pay me enough to go to that country. They can do whatever they want to do. They can, yeah, I don't know. But it wasn't that technically advanced when I was there. I was up in Daqing. I mean, Beijing was, but Daqing, you know, it was like, didn't really, you know, it was all cash there. I mean, we're going back a few years now, and it was all quite basic, the shops I went into. Plastered finger, reference ID cards. I believe it's more to do with getting work if you have to leave to remain, but cash in hand is cash in hand. Oh, is that, maybe that's something, is this to stop people working illegally or something? Glenn, I have a bus pass, LOL. Do you use it, Glenn? Do you use it? Okay, Billy, what does it cost in total for your tourist visa for 12 months? Probably, let me do a little quick bit of maths. Your ACR card is 600. When you first arrive in the Philippines, it's slightly more, because it's like 3,000 for the first month to extend. You can only extend for a month when you get here, but it's about 1,800 every 2 months. So that would be 3,200, 6,200 plus. Has my maths gone crap there, isn't it? I'd say it's about 15,000 pesos for the year. I think I got about 15,000. It's like, no, 6 and 8 is about 40,000 pesos, mate. That's off the top of my head. Don't quote me on that, but it is. If you extend for 1 month, it's about 1,450. If you extend for 2 months, it's 1,800. So 6 1,800s plus the cards are about 6,000. Yeah, it's cheaper in Dumaguete visas than it is in a lot of places, because here they don't make you get the express service unless you've left it too late. As long as you go in 5 days before your visa expires, you just pay the flat rate and you pick it up the next week. But some of the people have said in the comments, some places like, I think it's Bohol, and there's quite a few places here, they'll make you, the immigration will make you get the express service, because apparently they don't have a safe in the thing. So then you're paying an extra, well, you're almost paying twice as much, because it's like 1,000 for the express. So it's, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's quite, Dumaguete is quite friendly in terms of immigration compared to some of the cities I've heard. Adam Fentley, I see, seems more reasonable. They recently shut down 80+ million bank accounts in Vietnam. I heard they are doing digital ID as well, so it's something for me to pay attention to. So it is 80+ million. I thought it was. I was at the quiz last Monday, which we won, by the way. I don't know, we did win the quiz last Monday. And someone was banging on about it then, saying it was 85,000. And they're saying, what the hell's going wrong in the world? I said, 85,000 in Vietnam, that's nothing. I said, they cut down close to 3.5 million in Thailand. I said, sure, it's 85,000 and not 85 million. And they said, no, it's 85,000. I thought, well, that's not really a lot. That's nothing in terms of Vietnam population, just a drop in the thing. But 85 million is different. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is related, because Asia, as I said to some of the chaps then, is this going to hit the Philippines or our bank account? I mean, I don't use my bank account here anyway, but are we all going to get... Something's going on in Asia with money laundering. I don't quite get it. Jackstar, up to 2.5 million signed to shove the ID card. Guess who's running the company to roll out the ID card? Tony Blair's son. Is he really? He might be. It might be fake news. So 2.5 million have signed that, have they, mate? Well, there you go. With 2.5 million have signed, it probably won't happen. I literally just saw that he had announced it. So people don't want it then. Mr. Dan, if they can work illegally now without providing a national insurance number, then they'll be working illegally without providing a digital ID. Yeah, you can always get black market workers. Glenn, yes, several times a week. That's good. That's good that you do that, mate. I lived in a place called Burnham Market for a little while. Last time I was back in the UK, and which used to amaze me how many of the because there's an old demographic in Burnham Market, and it's quite an expensive area. They call it Chelsea by the Sea, and which surprised me how many of the pensioners there use the bus, because a lot of them had cars, and they used to use it to mingle. They literally have a little community. See all these old Dorishes and that get on the bus, and they just like, it was like the community hub, the bus, taking the bus to go to Hunstanton and have coffee mornings and things like that, and all come back. But the buses were packed, all using their free things. It was fantastic. Glenn, sometimes 6 times a day. Really? Wow. Do you not drive now then, have you not? Simon, have you not got a veteran's ID card? No, I don't have a veteran's ID card. I'd like to get one. I didn't know there was such a thing, because I'm toying with the idea at some stage in the future, if I stay here longer term, which I probably am going to, I fancy trying to get the veterans visa here, because if you're a veteran, you can get a really good deal on a retirement visa. I can't remember which SSRV it is, but Patrick, the neighbour, he's just got his. So basically, I think he said it costs $1,500 to get it. You got to deposit $1,500 in a bank account, and then that's it for life. And it's only $100 a year. It used to be $10, and you can work and do all sorts of things if you've got that. So I went and inquired about it, and they said I needed to have proof I was in the Air Force. So I thought, well, don't really have any. I mean, my discharge papers, my blue book and all that's back in England, but I did a quick Google, and they said online that if I need to get evidence I was in the Air Force, all I've got to do is write to the MOD with my service number or whatever, and they give you a letter or something. But if there is an ID card that you can get, then I'd get that, but I don't think that thing existed when I came out. Never heard of it before, mate. Have you got one? So in answer to your question, Jack, no, I've not got one. I didn't know there was one. Rain and Blood, have you heard of the YouTuber Sick Grandpa? Yes, mate, I have. We don't get on. We had an argument last week in a live stream. Yeah. Apparently I'm a loser and he doesn't like me. Yeah, he always jumps around my streams and follows me around. I don't know why he bothers. I don't give him much thought until someone mentions his name, but for some reason he thinks about me a lot. There you go. Jackstar, yeah, Adam, that's the country. It was done over right as well. Wow. George Plum, I'm from southwest London, probably come in your way in the next 4 months to retire. I'm going to check out your area. Whereabouts southwest London? Yeah, Yeah, you could do worse, mate. You know, it's like, say, as I've said many times on this channel, it took me a long time to fall in love with Dumaguete. To say I'm in love with it now might be a bit of a stretch, but I like it a lot more than I thought I first did. I don't see myself living anywhere else in the Philippines. I really don't. And nearly all the expats who are here are happy here, hence they're here. So you should check it out. I certainly would. I mean, but as Adam said, you want to try a few places. And just because Dumaguete's not for you doesn't mean Valencia won't. I mean, some people like Darwin, some people like Valencia, some people like Bacon, you know, but it might be too small for you. You know, you might want somewhere else. But as I say, I know a lot of people, obviously they're biased because they're here. I mean, I know some guys, a couple of guys been here 30 years plus, and they have lived in various places, and they've all ended up back in Dumaguete, you know, so yeah, check it out yourself. Raining Blood. He has a certain shtick. There you go. Glenn, I walk a lot, sometimes up to 80 miles a week. Rarely use car, only 1k miles last year. Wow. You must be a healthy man, mate. I don't do a lot of walking. That's a lot, 80 kilometres, 8 miles a week, bloody hell. That's like 4 marathons. Well, 3.5 marathons. How the hell do you walk that much, Glenn? You must have thighs like beer barrels. Talking of doing a lot of walking, my mate, I was around with mate Alex's the other day, and his dog, he's trialling these. I think he's going to invest. He's a bit of a businessman in these collars, you know, for you know, which track where your dog now has gone. And he was showing me on his phone. His dog every day it's out and about, and he does these loops. He's got like this territory or whatever. I think it did in that morning alone, it was up to like 8 or 9 kilometres or whatever. Just going round his same kind of routes every day. It's got his territory. Amazing. Mate, they're free from GovSite. I'll put the link on the FB page for you. Much appreciated, brother. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'll get one of those. Is that for when you go in the hospital or whatever, like for the NHS? Because we're supposed to get, like you were saying, we get priority treatment or something now, don't we? That must be quite a new thing then. I'll have to look into that. Because I never mentioned that. I just Googled when I came back from talking to the immigration people about it. You know, I'm ex-forces, how can I prove that I served? You know, I can't remember what I put in the search. And they just said then that you're right to the MOD or whatever, and they give you a letter. They should have said they give you an ID card, shouldn't they? Jack Star, good perks with the ID card, free entry to events, etc. Worth having, buddy. Yeah, no, I'll definitely get one of those. I used to, when I was in the RAF police, they had like an RAF police shop where you could get things. And one of them, like, you know, you had your warrant card, you could get a wallet which had like a metal emblem of like the RAF police fit, just eater. But it looked like a police ID card, you know, like a Metropolitan one or whatever, unless you looked at it closely. I mean, there was nothing illegal about it. But my God, you know, you went out, well, I was at Stanmore Park at the time, you went out at Watford or whatever, after guys, they go out and they just like go to a nightclub or whatever and just say usual discount. And got him free everywhere because they just thought you were coppers like Met or whatever. That was... Adam Fente, oh, I think my comments got blocked. Right, what did you say? Glenn, retired, LOL, used to be a cyclist. Well, there you go. Cyclist. What kind of cycling? Time trialing, a bit of both, a bit of all of it? Tour de France kind of guy? Many moons ago, I tried to get into cycling. I wasn't good at it. I gave up after a couple of years. Not for me. But I had some friends who were really into cycling. They used to compete quite a high level, but I was too heavy, or not heavy enough, depending on what you wanted to do. I used to love watching Tour de France. I pictured myself as being the next Robert Miller, but I was too big for that, and I wasn't strong enough for sprinting. Walk everywhere, just 54 miles this week due to weather. Well, that's very good, mate. Walking is supposed to be fantastic exercise. Probably better than jogging because less impact, isn't it? Adam Fenty, let me try again. Have you had any conversations in Duma with other expats regarding the Manila stuff? Are we talking about the riots and demonstrations and things? If we are, yeah. Ellen and a few of the Filipinos I've been more interested in the others, but most of the expats here take a. Well, I was told not to talk about it. Someone said don't mention that anything because I'll close you down and all that. Yeah, the general attitude was they were laissez-faire. They don't take interest in politics, and it certainly hasn't happened in Dumaguete yet that I'm aware of. But certainly, some of the Filipinos I know, they seem to think it was a good idea that people were actually standing up now and making themselves be known that they needed to not capitulate so much. Adam Fenty, the chat blocked the word protest, so I switched it to stuff. Wow, really? Why would it block that? It's a strange thing, isn't it, YouTube? I know Jim and Glenn have been having terrible problems with, for some reason, their comments keep getting, they can't post. No idea why that would be. But there you go, it's a strange old world. Anyway, we're going to knock it on the head soon, chaps. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves? What are you doing this week? What have you got plans? I've told you all about me. James Campbell, on average, it takes nearly 4 hours a day to walk 80 miles a week. Is James Campbell Soupy? I think I recognise that face. Is that you, Soupy? Well, there you go. 4 hours a day to walk 8 hours a week. How have you worked that out? That's a hell of a thing to do. Ricky, fun fact about me: my mum named me after Ricky from EastEnders. Really? Wow. She was a Ricky fan, was she? George Plum, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Didn't have to do that. It's very nice of you. Thank you very much. And thank you again, Jack. Jack and George, very, very much appreciated, mate. Very much appreciated. Glenn, unsupported long distance tour in many countries. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Glenn, get through a lot of trainers though. Jack Star, yeah. A couple of mine have been missed. I wonder why that is then. They're picking out certain words, are they? How strange. Adam Fenty, bread and circuses. This too will pass. LOL. Jack Star, Ricky. Yeah, when you said Ricky was, I get it now. Ricky was, yeah, I'm thinking, who was the one with, because Ricky was the guy who was going out with, what's his name, wasn't he? Sam, God, I'm awful with names. But Ricky was the one who was going out with the Mitchell, Sam Mitchell, wasn't it? When you said Ricky, I thought you were talking about the one who had the dog called Wellard. What was his name? I think, why would you name anyone after him? What was his name, the one who had the dog? Because that wasn't Ricky. No, Ricky was it his name? Sid Owen. Sid Owen was Ricky, wasn't it? Who was the one who had the dog, Wellard? Oh, Ricky was Bianca. That's it, yeah. God, I'm thinking it was Sam. Yeah, Ricky and Bianca, but Ricky was Sid Owen, wasn't it? Who was the one with the dog? Alex Torinasia, hey mate, how's it going? Just found you live. Yeah, good, Alex, mate. How are you? You're back in Davao now, are you? We were just talking. Is he still here? Okay, Billy. He's talking about moving to Davao. He's been asking me questions about Davao and Cebu. If you'd have been on here earlier, you could have answered them. Glenn, 4 hours for an RIP is nothing, LOL. James Campbell, yes, I'm Soupy, nickname Campbell Soup. No relation, unfortunately, just in name. There you go. There you go. I used to know the chairman of Campbell Soups, Raymond Monbiot. He's passed away, God bless him. But, well, he was a chairman of Campbell Soups Europe, not because they were Amish, aren't they, from Pennsylvania, the original family. But he told me a lot about Campbell Soups over the years. Dr. Campbell, a whole meal in a tin for, what was it, 10 cents? That was the whole idea behind it. Adam Fenty, they have some great fish and chips here in Siem Reap. I tried it from 3 different restaurants and was surprised. What fish is it? Because I've had some good fish and chips here, but I can't think. Well, it's Dorian, the fish that seems to be good. You see, I think the best fish for fish and chips is John Dory. I had it in Thailand once and it was delicious. But the John Dory here is cheaper than the Dorian. And I ordered some the other day and they didn't have it. I said, I want John Dory. And someone said, why are you having that? Don't be such a cheapskate. Because it was like 100 pesos cheaper. And I said, I've not been cheap. I like John Dory. I'm not too, the Dorian's all right, but I like John Dory. And he reckons that the John Dory here is lousy, that it's all grown on fish farms and it's just cheap and nasty. It's not like the John Dory in Thailand. He may well be right. He may well be right. Ricky at Jackstar, been getting that my entire life. KL Esteban, I'm more of a homebody. I won't fight running because I don't want to die tired. Adam Fenty, not sure on the fish variety. Yeah, I'm not really a fish and chips guy. I am in the UK. I had fish and chips here. I had some at Native a few weeks ago and that was all right. It wasn't bad. It was decent. I just fancy fish and chips. But apart from one time when I had it in Pattaya, I prefer English, you know, with a proper batter, proper fish, chips, you know, mushy peas. It's just, I don't think anywhere does it as well as England. But that's just me. But then again, in England, you know yourself, if you're English, you can get some really lousy fish and chip shops, but you can get some good ones as well. And the good ones will always make money. There will be queues at the good ones. Alex Torin Asia, yeah, I'm in Davao, nearly bought a motorcycle, but I'm leaving in a month, so it didn't seem worth it. Maybe when I come back. Yeah, I wouldn't buy one if you're going in a month, mate, because that'll be you away for 6 months as well, won't it? Ricky, definitely not cod. Oh, definitely it won't be cod that he had, or you don't like cod. I probably couldn't tell the difference between cod and haddock, if I'm honest. But whenever they ask me what I want, I always say cod. I don't think I've ever asked for haddock. I think I have had haddock a couple of times when they've been out of cod, and I don't think I could tell, to be honest with you. I had fish and chips in Plymouth many, many moons ago, and it was incredibly cheap in this place, and I couldn't work out why it was so cheap. And then it turned out the fish they used was pollock. I did not like that. I did not like that. I won't eat that again. It's different, the fish and chips over here. I mean, it was nice, probably quality. It can never be the same batter. And I say the chips, never had chip shop chips, I think, anywhere outside of the UK. Alex Major, bat and cod can't beat it. Yeah, no, you can't, mate, you can't. It's there was a fish and chip shop in Burnham Market, and amazing fish there, amazing fish and chips. I used to have that every Friday. And there was a Chinese place there as well. It's called the Panda Kitchen. That was a brilliant Chinese. Some good restaurants in Burnham Market, or some good good restaurants and takeaways. If you haven't been to Burnham Market, try it out. It's a nice place. Heinz are Pittsburgh, PA. Campbell's are Camden, New Jersey. Yeah, they are now, because they've sold the thing, haven't they? I mean, we're going back a number of years now. Campbell's aren't owned by the same people anymore. It's all gone. But they were like an Amish family or something like that. And I'm sure it was... I think it was Philadelphia used to go back to the meetings anyway. But yeah, they've changed, mate. They've changed. The Campbell's has not been Campbell's as it was for many, 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 many years. Because Raymond, I mean, he's passed away now, bless him. He was in his late 80s. But when he worked for them, because they used to have a head office in, or they had a big factory in Norwich. But he told me about all the history and all that kind of things. He was at Campbell's quite a long time. Before that, he worked for Lions. He was part of the Lions family, the Salmons. And that's how he'd gone over to... but anyway, Adam Fenty. Burgers are definitely a miss here in Siem Reap. I had some great ones in Phnom Penh, but not here in Siem Reap. I think I had some nice meals in some of the hotels when I was in Siem Reap. I had some nice meals. Because I had quite a few long stays in hotels over there. But the actual meals on Pub Street itself, I don't think I had a particularly good one there at all. There's that Mexican place at the top. I didn't like that. I had a couple of those buffets. Didn't like that. I've been quite disappointed on the whole, the food in Pub Street. But get away from Pub Street. A lot of the hotels and that do really nice meals in there. I had a couple of really nice burgers. Can't think of the names of any hotels now, but there you go. Jack Start, I'm quite luck. I was going to be called Jai. Glenn, pollock is used a lot. Not my fave either. Is it? That's the only time I've ever seen pollock used. I must be honest, that is the only time I ever saw it was in Plymouth. And I say never again. I presume it's a cheap fish. Jim Pendergast, love smoked haddock for breakfast with a poached egg. Yeah. I had a friend in Leicester. He used to do that. What do you call it when it's a smoked haddock? What was that dish called? It was his signature dish. When we had hickory. What was it called? What is a dish? You have it for a dinner. It's got a boiled egg in it. It's and it's smoked haddock. Can't think what it's called. Vicky, isn't there a famous Campbell's soup painting worth millions? There's loads. It was a series. I think he did it from. Andy Warhol did them, and he did them over 2 years. The Campbell's series. It was like a 2-year project. I asked a question in the quiz a few months ago. What year was it? It was the 60s. I think it was 66 to 68 or something like that, but he did loads. Because that was the first question I ever asked Raymond, like, because I said, did you commission, or did Campbell's commission Warhol to do it? Because it must have been great marketing, and it was nothing, it was completely incidental. They had nothing to do with it. Andy Warhol just did it, and they became iconic. But yeah, there's a whole series of them, you know, different colours, different shapes. And I think he just painted Campbell's soups for like 2 years. Plastered finger, eggs Benedict. I do like eggs Benedict. There's a couple of places here I've had eggs Benedict for breakfast, and not great, but a good eggs Benedict I do like. Ray in the Philippines. What is the dish? The dish, the evening dish, which has got not hickory. It's going to bother me. That is now. Ray in the Philippines. Good evening. Good evening, Ray. How you doing, mate? How is your channel going? I must give it another look. I've been so busy these last few weeks doing things. I've completely got behind in terms of what friends' channels and that are doing. I've got to get on top of that. But yeah. But like tonight, I'm going to finish this, and I've got to just work on questions for the quiz. There are not enough hours in the day. Ray in the Philippines, hard to make good hollandaise sauce. Jim Pendergrass, kedgeree. That's it, kedgeree. Hickory, what am I talking about? Kedgeree. Yeah, kedgeree. I do like kedgeree. Good kedgeree is very nice. Yep, kedgeree. Well done, Jim. Glenn, Jim, me too, or kippers and poached egg. Yeah, kippers. I've not had kippers in years. I do like kippers. They stink the house out, but I do like kippers. What if you can get kippers over here? Poached kippers. Delicious. And in fact, for the most part, I stick to Asian dishes unless I know that the business is foreigner owned or operated. Yeah, well, I was always like that. When we were in Thailand, very, very rare I ate Western food. Same in Cambodia. Here, though, it's very rare that I eat Filipino food. I mean, apart from in the house, I mean, Ellen cooks things like Filipino things. And since we moved here, there's a couple of eateries on the road, a couple of 100 metres away. So we've eaten there a few times. But I don't love Filipino food. Not really my thing. Plastered finger, Jim, well done. Yes, well done again, Jim. Glenn, Jim, you beat me to it. Ray in the Philippines, just reached first level of monetisation, just past 300 with about 840 subs. Wow, well done. Oh, they've reduced it now, have they? Because when I first started, you used to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Well done, mate. You've done that very quickly. Daniel Morgan, who is your favourite vlogger in the Philippines? I don't really watch vlogs in the Philippines. I would have to say Brent's Tripping, because I know Brent, so probably Brent's Tripping's channel. I'm sorry if I've offended anyone else who's got channels out there. I like Old Dog as well, but again, I just don't watch other vlogs really now I'm here. Used to before I came here, used to. Ray in the Philippines after 3 months. Yeah, it took me 2.5, so we're about the same. About the same. Congratulations. The plaster finger. There is smoked fish in the market here. I will ask and try, eat and ask. Ellen gets these dried fish sometimes, and I don't like them. Bloody flies all over the things and that. You know, she gets them occasionally. She hasn't had any ages, but she gets them and she mixes them up with tomato things and like fries them. But yeah, they can keep the dried fish. Not for me. Might taste nice, but I don't want something that's been sitting there for like months covered in flies and things. Call me fussy, but not for me. Well, I'm going to knock it on the head tonight, chaps, because my coffee has run out and I've got things to go to and or things to get done, and we're nearly on the 2-hour mark and people have slowed down on the chats. But I say this sincerely, I've enjoyed tonight. I'm really happy that I did the live stream. It'd be fantastic if a few more you could hit the like button, because we like to get those numbers up. But I've really enjoyed tonight because I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. I thought maybe it was too short a notice and no one would come online, but I seized the opportunity because I'm not going to get another chance to do one this week. But I might do a live stream from one of the quizzes if people really want to see that. I know OK Billy said that he wanted to. George, thank you very much for the super chat. It's very much appreciated. And thank you so much, Brother Jack. Very, very much appreciated, as it always is. You've put both very generous souls, not required, but very much appreciated. I'll just catch up with the old comments here and then we'll knock it on the head. Plaza Finger, night mate, chat soon. Yep, looking forward to it, mate. Ray in the Philippines. I lost my appetite when I smell dry fish. I lose my appetite. Yeah, it's not for me. Adam Fente, one thing I struggled to understand in the Philippines was chicken pork adobo. If it is a national dish, then why is it so hard to find and not advertise and eaten in mass? Thais love pad kapow. I love pad kapow. I love pad kapow moo, pad kapow guy. Pet match up. Yeah, love it. Adam Fente, was a good live. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks, Adam. Alex, tour in Asia. Catch you next time. Yeah, thanks, Alex. Glenn, many thanks. I keep saying I'm not going to say the names because I say thank you to everybody, but then I'll forget names and I'll get mixed up and then I'll think, why did I not mention their name? But you know who you are. Thanks for joining. Much appreciated. Again, thanks again to Jack and to where's my thing on George and yeah, Jim. So I said I'm not going to mention names. Jim, Glenn, Adam, Ray. You know who you are. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one, which will be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I will do a live stream, and yeah, hope you can make it then. If you like the video, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it'd be fantastic if you did. But whether you do, whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe. Be lucky. And I hope your back. I hope your back improves, Jack. I don't know if you're still there, but if you are there, Jack, I hope your back still improves. And then I can give you some ease tomorrow. Right, now I am going. Ray, I've just subbed. There we go. Jack's just subbed, so Jack was still there. Right, now I am logging off.